This hand here now, ace-9 on the button. It's been passed to you, and it's such a strong hand in late position, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I'm on the button with this hand with effective stacks, 6 big blind. So it's an easy show just to go after the blinds. If I get called, I might be behind, but basically you can't fold this hand on the button with these stack sizes. So it's an easy show.
So we've used up all the time bank, unfortunately, and you haven't acted in time, and it's folded your hand.
Yeah.
Not ideal, but...
Yeah, definitely. It was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
playing out of the blinds here, your opponent in the big blind has just over 3 big blinds left. So ace-6 is a powerful hand.
Yeah, in this position, it was folded to me on the small blind, and I was against the big blinds were 300, 600. It's a strong enough hand to show over a big blind, and I was happy to take the blinds and move on to next one.
With the ace-10 here, you've min-raised, and it's really important to keep an eye on the stacks behind you, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's very important. The idea behind this min-raise is Guzman have a big stack. Pretty much, we have the same stacks. That's a strong hand to pass on the button, but I don't want to risk my whole stack against Guzman. I'm so happy to play all in against Mans, which happened here. He 3-bet me with his pretty much all stack, and Guzman folded, so I think I dominated him.
It's kind of an ideal situation.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And then considering we lose that player, we're now on the bubble, which means that the next person to go out of the tournament doesn't make any money. And that's the one position nobody wants to go out in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Considering the dynamics of the table, you've got the 2 shorter stacks behind you, you're playing against the other big stack. With 8-3, you've elected to raise fold it.
The reason behind is I'm the biggest stack at this point, and we're on the bubble. The next person out, as you said, he's not going to be making the money. So I decided to raise with a very, very bad hand, just to steal his blind, hoping that he doesn't have good enough overhand to tackle. But he elected to show, and at that point it was an easy fold for me.
Okay.
So I just folded my rubbish hand.
Yeah. As an alternative, did you consider folding it even pre-flop?
Yeah, I could do that as well, but for sometimes when you think about the other players' stack and what can they risk, what can they not, I might try to steal. I'm not saying every time I raise 8-3, but this time I tried to steal, but it was an easy fold when he decided to push the rest of his stack.
And we still have 4 players.
Yes.
Ace-Queen is obviously very strong, four-handed especially. So what a great situation for you.
Yeah, that was very fortunate actually. Blinds at this point, I think 400, 800 with 25 chip ante. He was just unlucky to run into an Ace-Queen behind him. So I just pushed all in. I came over the top, and luckily my hand held up.
Yeah.
And we had a healthy stack and lost another player.
Everyone's in the money now?
Everyone's in the money now.
And so everyone kind of breathes a sigh of relief now. The play changes slightly now that we've burst the bubble, or now that everyone's getting paid. This stage in the game, stack sizes are so important. You have so many of the chips in play, and you're up against Guzman, who has the second biggest stack. You've really put him in a tough position here by making him have to play for all his chips. Yeah,
with these blinds and with these stacks, you either just play for your all stack or just basically fold or show. And Jack now is Samurai folded, and it's just me and against Guzman. He's got almost 7,000 chips, and I decided to push because again, he's not going to risk his second place without a very strong hand.
Yeah, and for some people, it can be a little nerve-wracking to shove with a hand that doesn't look quite as nice, like the Jack 9.
Yeah.
New players might think, maybe I should just let other people kind of knock each other out, but you can't really do that, can you?
No, you can't, because the blinds are so big. If you sit behind, it's gonna eat your stack as well.
Yeah, and it's great to put people into difficult decisions for their stack
pressure,
as well. So we lose another player, and you are now heads up. So how does this change your strategy?
Stack size is very important. Now we got similar stack sizes, like around 12 big blinds. Basically, I'm playing a show or fold game now. There's no more 2 times raise or 3 times raise, because you're either stealing or playing for a whole stack. The ones I decide to play, I'm just going all in, playing for my stack.
So yeah, we're going to be playing the majority of the hands here, the good ones. Okay. So this is the first hand of heads up, and we just finished saying that we're either going to be shoving or folding. You make a raise here though.
Yeah, I made a 3 times raise. What I'm hoping here is he's got a hand that I dominate, weak raise or like king 10 type of hand. I'm just hoping him to come over the top and show. That's an easy call for me, because my hand is basically a monster heads up.
Yeah, sadly he decides not to try to steal the pot there, but you know, you win some chips.
Yeah, exactly.
So our opponent raises, we obviously have a very weak hand, we fold the 10 deuce, move on to the next hand here, and we get it all in with the king 9, which again, quite a strong hand heads up.
That's we are first to act on this hand, so that's important. If he would first act, if he would show, I would probably fold this hand. It's a very strong hand heads up to go all in with these stack sizes again. Unfortunately, he had a dominating hand, but I was lucky that first I called a 9 and then I made a higher flush on the river. So
yeah, so nobody really does anything wrong in this hand. I mean, the king 10 also very strong hand, so just unlucky for him and lucky for us. Our opponent's really short stacked now, and he shoves it all in, and you've got 7-8, but you've decided not to call, even though it's quite a small shove.
Yeah, he doesn't have many chips left. I think it's a close decision. It's quite a weak hand, 7-8. I just decided to fold and didn't want to double him up. So I think that was the right decision.
So we've shoved it in with Jack 3 and we've got him to fold. We've taken down the blinds and the antes there. Next hand comes up, and with the 7-8.
Yeah, and then our opponent folded.
But again, it's a nice pot, and he's very, very short stacked now. So the next hand comes around, 10 Jack.
Yeah,
good hand heads up.
Yeah, I think at this point I'm just going with anything.
Right, so any 2 cards really, because he's so short.
So short.
Yeah. There's an unfortunate situation where he does manage to double up, but he's still very, very short.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about getting that short stacked, is even doubling up doesn't help you sometimes.
Doesn't help you much. Yeah. You have to double up like 4 times, 5 times in a row just to get even.
Yeah, it's a hard grind, I'll tell you. So now there we go. Not a bad way to finish.
Definitely. That was the final hand. We got ace 5, and he's got like, I think 500 chips left or so after posting the blind. So we just went all in against Queen Jack. Our hand held up, and it was a good win.
Always nice to be able to take down a sit and go.
Definitely.
Yeah, and these 10-handed games, you know, they're very quick. The speed games, the structure can move quite quickly.
Every stage of the tournament is important, but high blind levels are more critical decisions, basically.
Yeah, making decisions for all your stack a lot of the time there as well. And it is good fun because, you know, there's always a little bit of risk involved, and you have to make sure that you stay very aggressive in these games, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get a lot of advantage from being that person who is aggressive. Well, congratulations, and thanks for talking
Thank you very much. No problem at all. It was so much fun.